What's up, everybody? Welcome to 4NZGamers. My name is James Jennings. I'm joined by Phil Brooks. How you doing, bro?
Good, thanks.
Hey, where is everyone?
Yeah, it's a good question. I guess the frame's not wide enough. Well, what happened was the camera went bung and wasn't really recording the way we wanted it to be recording. And we did hours and hours of E3 footage that you're never going to see.
Never.
So they got really depressed. One of them hung himself.
So you just have us.
Yeah. Sorry.
Awesome. But today we are going to talk about the Sony E3 conference.
Yes, we're on to Sony.
We're on to Sony. This is our E3 special. So, and we're going on about Sony. So, dude, what do you think of the Sony conference?
I thought it was good. I thought they had a very, very good showing. Considering I was worried to start with because I didn't think they were going to have a good showing this year.
Yeah.
Well, because I knew they didn't have games coming out this year, really. Exclusive games coming out this year. In fact, I still don't know if they do. But that fact aside, they still managed to knock the ball out of the park, which is saying something.
It was a cool conference, man.
I take my hat off to them.
It was really cool. They first opened off with Last Guardian.
Yeah, which surprised the living crap out of pretty much everybody in the room and around the world.
So for those of you guys that don't know, Last Guardian was first announced at the E3 in 2009. Now, it's been going on and off. It's been out of production, in production, and finally every year somebody's been saying, no, Last Guardian's out this year.
Yeah,
no, it's going to this year.
That'll be this year.
It's never been seen since. And this year they opened the damn show with The Last Guardian.
And I think this year was the best year because I think it had actually finally gotten to the point where everyone just went, no, it's not coming out.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a rumour.
Oh, some people are saying, no, not this time. This is they did the year before.
But yeah, exactly.
This
That's
year.
still just like the year before. And I think it was at that perfect point where people were just like, you know what? No. Damn you, you're always saying this. I don't believe you this time. And then they frickin' did.
Yeah. Best thing to open with, I think. Squashing all the rumours and yada, yada,
Considering some of the other announcements that they did have during their conference, I still think Last Guardian was the best thing they could have opened with.
You saw the trailer, the gameplay trailer?
Yep.
It looked really cool.
It looks good.
It looked awesome. I think it had it's got awesome mechanics, and the guys who created Ico and
Shadow of the Colossus.
It still had that feel and look. Graphics looked a tad bit dated.
Yes, and people are saying that because it was originally developed on the PS3, that maybe they've just, ported over what they had and then started sort of building upon those assets. I don't know if that's actually possible, to be honest, with the architecture of the different systems being so different, but I agree with you. It didn't wow me, you know. I was looking at that bird dog monkey thing and I was kind of like, oh yeah, that looks odd, odd. I don't know. I couldn't even really place what the hell it was, but it just looked slightly odd.
Yeah, it did. I like it. I liked how it was kind of out of this world kind of thing, and like I was really aware that it was a PS3 now onto the PS4. I think it will get better as time kind of goes on. At least the game is playable. According to them, they're saying it's playable, and at least we've seen it, and now it's official. It is coming out.
Yeah, I think that was the point. They just wanted to dispel the rumors finally, put them to rest and say, we're doing it. It is happening.
But on the flip side as well, though, I think the mechanics looked really good. It's quite refreshing for me, I think, to see that you're playing as almost the kind of this little boy who's very fragile and weak and is almost protected by this giant, as you were saying, griffin, monkey, dog, cat thing.
Yeah.
So I think the idea of having that partner and playing around to try and get through the obstacles throughout this world seems really cool, and they help each other out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously with that big monkey, griffin thing, dog, cat thing's size.
Porcupine.
Yeah. Everything under the sun. But it's just sheer size, can jump across great lengths, has its strengths and all that stuff. But also, they showed a cool thing in the trailer of the cat was afraid of this kind of tower
that
thing.
structure.
Yeah, and it was, and they basically the boy got behind it and pushed it off to get rid of it. So I'm looking forward to playing with those mechanics.
Just the way they work with each other and around each other to get through the puzzles of the world. Yeah, looked interesting.
Yeah, it does. It does look. I don't think it'll be a.
They didn't need to show much, really.
Yeah. I don't think it would be a mind blowing game. But,
no, and I got to be honest. Cards on the table. I wasn't a huge fan of Shadow of the Colossus. In fact, I started playing it and I stopped playing it. That's how much it really didn't do anything for me. So, knowing that this is from the same guys, and because I know there's been this massive fanfare waiting for this game, just because it's the guys that did Eco and the guys that did Shadow of the Colossus, and so for me, this whole time I'm sitting here going, yeah, well, if it doesn't come, You know, like I just didn't care. So it didn't do anything for me, but I do respect and understand the surprise and the joy that it's obviously bringing to the people that do want it.
Yeah. Well, if you don't care about that one, you'll definitely care about this next one. So this next game that we have is been... Do you like that?
Nice segue. Wunderbar.
So this next one's been created by Guerrilla Games, and they showed an awesome new IP of Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Now that game looked cool.
Yep.
That
Looked
game
amazing.
was really cool.
Quite possibly the best new IP of the show.
I agree.
Yeah.
I thought it was awesome. So from what you saw in the trailer, what do you think?
I'm excited.
When you first saw it, and the idea is this new game. It didn't get leaked. I don't remember seeing anything in the game, so it was just kind of, it actually hit most people, I believe, out of the blue.
Yeah, again, like that's what I was saying. Like, I didn't expect much from Sony's conference because we didn't know this stuff was even here. Pretty much all of their announcements hit us from left field, and there's still more to come in the conference that are going to blow your mind if you don't know. But yeah, this game looks great. It looks like it's my sort of era. I get to play as a chick. I love female protagonists. I love getting that opportunity because it doesn't actually come as often as you think. And I love the setting. I love that sort of post-apocalyptic world, as you say. But just that sort of destroyed beauty, like the world that has been sort of overrun with nature. I just love that sort of setting. Kind of reminded me of Enslaved, Odyssey to the West, which was a great game.
I really liked how it was. You were saying post-apocalyptic, but it also seemed old school. Like there was torn down cities, but like really torn down, and they were still using bow and arrows, but it was like almost. They still had explosive arrows. All the animals in the environment were robotic machines. But it was not that typical Terminator storyline.
No, I almost got a little bit of a sense of The Matrix slightly.
Yeah?
Yeah, just... I don't know, I guess in the sense that it felt like the machines had been there for a long time.
Yeah,
and it was really their home, which is obviously in the setting in The Matrix, but obviously they'd rooted the planet. But... just the way she went up to the little one and said, "I'm sorry, little one." I had to.
She had sympathy for this.
Yeah, like she almost
machine
knew nothing else other than this world that was inhabited by these machines. That, I guess, in her mind, the life of a machine and the life of a human and the life of even if there are other animals, I didn't see any. Actual like biological animals, like it just seemed like they were all the same to her. Like she valued that life, like as though it was life, like the life of a machine.
And she was hunting them down for resources.
Yeah,
as
whatever
well.
those pods were on
those
their
green
back,
things on their back, and they seemed like deer, and she managed to
get
one or two, and then she got attacked by this mechanical T-Rex. But it seemed the game mechanics, and I love good game mechanics. It seemed like she was using lines to kind of keep it still.
Yep, tethering
it to the ground, and then using explosive arrows to take out its shielding, and then electrocuting it, and then actually managed to blow off like a cannon off some of it, and she used it against this machine, and everything seemed to be falling apart, and she what it seemed like that she uses those bits and pieces for either for future or for leveling up, and they did say it's a leveling up game as well, so you do
like it's a role-playing.
It's a role-playing game, and also when you do damage to the creatures, they didn't show it in the trailer, but there was like a kind of Borderlands feel where it actually made the numbers came up on how much damage you were doing and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I quite like that sort of thing.
So I'm looking forward to that. That game looks cool.
It looks amazing.
Yeah,
it was a great thing from Sony to present a brand new IP that looks amazing that nobody saw coming. And they played it again on the game show floor, where they did the same demo, but when they got to the bottom, instead of her stealthing around like she did in the conference, she went the other way to the left, and she was like, I don't know, flicking over explosives or something.
It changed everything. Where she, from what I heard, it was she put an explosive one place, and it caused all the animals started running in that direction, and she blew them all up, which caused the robotic T-Rex to run off in that direction to see what had happened.
What had gone on.
Yeah.
So they're just showing there's multiple ways to play the game, and apparently like that T-Rex is made up of so many different sort of movable parts that you can sort of attack and tear apart, and it's got all these different attacks. It's very versatile. So just everything that they said was amazing to me. I'm pretty excited to play. And did it have a release date? Did they say
No,
2016?
no, yeah, those ones are 2016 for that one, I believe, for that one.
And Last Guardian as well, 2016?
Yep, a lot of those are for 2016, so unlike Microsoft, they're all for 2016 releases.
Yeah.
So not too much for this year, but I don't mind. I've got a shitload of games to play and catch up on, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm fine. I still.
Well, you're lucky in a year where you've got Metal Gear Solid and Fallout.
Exactly.
You kind of don't, and Rainbow Six and Assassin's Creed. I mean, there still are these third-party games that are going to fill the Sony shelves. You know, you don't need your exclusives.
Speaking of third-party games,
Man,
I'm on fire, man. Hitman.
Yeah.
What do you think? I think we may have talked about it in the previous
about this in the Square one. Yeah. Hitman is a beloved franchise of mine. I've always enjoyed the game. It's just it's a little more.
I never really got into it. Like I did play some of the games and it was cool, but
not quite your cup of tea.
No, I do like stealth games and stuff, but I feel like it's one of those keep doing the same level, fail. And then,
there's rinse, wash, repeat.
Yeah, rinse, wash, exactly. And I find that I'm just failing until eventually I'm about 50% through, perfectly done it, then I fail. And then by the time, my 80th time of doing that same level, that final time where I'm able to kill everybody, sweet.
Yeah.
I know where everybody is. It's like shooting in all directions, getting headshots and killing 4 or 5 guys at once.
And your timing is perfectly down.
It's
like
perfect.
You get there at that point when that cop turns that way and you go down the stairs.
Because previously I'd figured that out. So
you know it's trial and error.
Yeah.
But you get there in the end and you feel like a badass when you
I feel like a badass then, but before it's just like, what the fuck? Oh my god, son of a bitch!
Yeah, you just feel like a badass.
Yeah. So I don't know. I like that they're bringing Agent 47 back, and it'll be interesting to see what they do with these next gen graphics and
it'd be interesting
styles.
to see if they change the way that he operates, because with everything going like real world, sort of open world environments, like literally everything that we saw that was getting announced was like, oh, open world this and open world that. Hitman's always been quite confined, right? They give you little levels, little spaces, little arenas to play in, and I just wonder with the next gen version of Hitman, do they branch out and do something different with it? I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm just putting it out there,
I think they should take a risk.
Well, I guess, but they don't want to be Metal Gear Solid, and Metal Gear Solid's doing open world stealth. And I mean, and it wouldn't surprise me if Splinter Cell ends up going somewhere like that as well, especially with the announcement of Ghost Recon going open world. I
guess we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So,
will you buy it?
Depends when it comes out. Because it's the sort of game that I definitely would buy if there was a lull in games.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it's but if it's competing against other games, because just with honestly, there are so many games coming out this year and next year. Like I've actually had to do a budget. I had to work. I listed every game and I had to put in red the ones I'm going to get because I can't afford everything. So yeah, and Hitman,
it's a lot of games. It's a lot of games.
Of most of the list, it probably wouldn't make the cut, to be honest, but it just depends when it comes out.
Yeah, maybe when it gets platinum or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, it'll definitely be a game I do play.
Eventually?
Eventually.
Right, okay.
I will definitely play it at some point. Because Absolution was great. I loved it. One of my favourite games on the 360. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, good franchise. And interesting that it appeared in the Sony conference. You may be asking yourself, why? Why did it appear in the Sony conference? Because it was also in the Square conference.
Yes.
It's because it has 6 exclusive contracts that Sony has managed to snap up and have for their players. So that's a bit of a, that's one over Microsoft, clearly, because...
well, they seem to be doing a lot of this with these games, so we'll talk about them
as we get to
more.
Them,
but do we know what those things are?
All the exclusive stuff?
Yeah.
I do, because as more of an Xbox fanboy, I'm more inclined to buy my game on an Xbox over a PlayStation if I have the choice. And looking at the Sony lineup of all the bloody games I want to get, I was sitting there going, maybe I should just get it on Sony for this one because it comes with this, like Batman. We'll get to them, but so I made a mental note.
All right. Well, the next one that I've got written down here is Street Fighter 5.
Yeah, that was... I mean, that's an exclusive. Sony has snapped that up in a
PS4 only.
Similar, I was going to say in a similar way to Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Do you reckon though? Do you think it'll be timed?
No, because they got it. They own it. It's theirs. So
sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry. If you're a fighting fan on Xbox, you've got Killer Instinct, which I guess Sony doesn't have. And Killer Instinct is actually quite a good game.
No,
but
that game sucks, bro.
Well,
you agree?
no, I
in
don't.
some way.
No, I actually really like Killer Instinct, but
Yeah.
Street Fighter is all class, and
Yes, it is.
it literally defines fighting games. And there's a huge fighting game community out there that literally will only play Street
Well,
Fighter.
it sucks that it's now cut off to Microsoft fans. Because it should be,
Especially
it
since
is,
they have
you
the
know,
big control pad.
they have Street Fighter 4 on well,
Especially since they got that elite control pad with the awesome.
fuck whatever.
awesome
Bro, we already
D-pad.
talked about that. Nobody
Great-
cares about this. This is a
Street Fighter.
Sony panel, bro. Sony panel. But also we were talking about before with Sony snapping up all these different things. So they're bringing out. They're bringing out the beta for Street Fighter 5.
Yeah.
So people will be able to play it early on PS4.
Yeah,
even
yeah.
though it's not coming out on Xbox. Are you much of a fighting
Nah.
fan? No.
No.
Even Street Fighter?
No, I only play Killer Instinct.
No.
No, I just
Dick.
no, it doesn't really do it for me because you need to invest quite a lot of time in order to actually be good at those games, and I just can't be bothered learning every single combo and being that awesome for that sort of game. It just doesn't do it for me.
Oh, I like Street Fighter. Street Fighter's cool. I'm not yearning for Street Fighter because Street Fighter 4 came out, so I think I've had my fill.
I don't like button mashing, and that's what I do. Like I sit down and, I don't know the controls. I don't know what to do, and so I end up just button mashing.
It's a very Killer Instinct thing to do.
No, but Killer Instinct. Fucking. You've clearly never played Killer Instinct.
I have. I've got it. It sucks. It doesn't suck. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I would take Street Fighter over Killer Instinct.
Yeah, but I don't think any of them are. Well, you can play them.
They're different styles.
Yeah, but you can play any fighting game as a button masher.
Yeah.
But you'll only get so far. Anyone who actually knows the controls is going to whip your ass.
Well, it's just like Street Fighter 5. It kind of looks a tad bit different, but not really. There's a few added characters. We're now seeing Birdie and Cammy, and Charlie is kind of back in it, which we already know about.
Charlie from Lost.
No. The next one that we had was No Man's Sky.
Yes.
No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
What do you think about No Man's Sky, bro? That game looks overwhelming.
It does, and I just don't know what the hell it is. You know, like it seems like this massive it looks exciting, right? There's this massive
looks fun, yeah,
universe.
it looks cool.
There's all these stars that they showed, and he pulls out from them and says, just bear in mind that each one of these stars is a solar system that you can go and visit with all these planets and life and everything happening around it.
I can go faster.
Yeah, and there's just lights for Africa, and it was overwhelming, and it's exciting because you're like, sweet man, okay, this game just looks like I'm going to get lost. I'm going to find a planet that nobody else has found. I'm going to call it Planet Penis, you know, and other people will find it and they'll see, you know, my
Planet
penis out in the solar system.
This is a desolate planet.
There's nothing here. What do you do when you get there is my question, because it looks kind of, it's funny you say it looks barren.
Yeah.
It does look barren.
Yeah.
There's a couple of creatures that, what do I do? I like scan them and now they're in my inventory.
It definitely at the moment from what we saw seems like a very just discovery orientated game. Not too much of a story. I don't know if you build anything. Do you create anything? I
just don't
or is
know.
it just you just go to a planet and be like, oh hey, there's water over here.
Exactly, and so in the sense
Screw
of
this planet, I'm gonna go find this one.
And then when you get there, you'll find the same damn thing. That's what I feel like. Okay, it's a slightly different colour. Yeah. This water's red. That animal's got 5 legs instead of 3, or whatever, you know. Like, but essentially, as you say, it's a discovery game, but it feels like I'm going to be discovering the same thing over and over. I just don't see the point. I want to see more about that game before I get excited now. I was excited at first, and now I'm worried.
Yeah.
Because last time...
Wait, because there's no story element to it?
Because it looks like there's no story, and from what he showed in that demo, it just looks like there's nothing to do. Or it looks like the things that there are there for you to do have no purpose. Like, why? He says, so we pull out of that station. He's like, okay, so there's these guys, they're fighting, there's 2 warring factions. We could join in if we want. We could fight, we could choose sides, or we could just bypass them. And I'm thinking, why?
What's the point?
Why? Why would we do anything? Why would we side? Who are they? Side with who? What are they doing? Like, why would I give a shit? You know?
Well, I think...
And then he's like, there's battles like this happening all over the place. I'm like, oh, great, so there's even more sides and more factions that I don't give a shit about. You know?
Oh, well, I guess we'll see when we know more about the game, I guess. Like, that, when I saw the game, though, it does look like a lot of a very Project Morpheus. I think it would be great for the Project Morpheus. So,
totally.
So, like, it would just be good to be able to fly around and actually look around and stuff.
Yep.
You get bored of that as well, but I don't know. Like you said, it seems like an overwhelming game. There's a lot to do, lots and lots and heaps to do. Just don't know why.
Yeah.
Why should I want to go to the center of the universe?
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. And
All right, next up, bro.
Yep.
I've got Medium Molecules. New title.
Dreams.
That was fucking weird.
It was weird.
Yeah.
Because they did Little Big Planet, right? And
Yes,
Tearaway.
Yep.
Which-
So they're into those kind of weirdish, kind of random styled games.
Yeah, where it's all about, I guess, gameplay, which is,
Which is cool. Yeah.
Which is it's cool. Every game should start from gameplay, really, and it's just some sort of fun experience based on gameplay.
But this trailer, you walked away with more questions than answers.
And which is clearly what they wanted too.
Yeah.
He even said, "I hope you have plenty of questions after seeing this."
But like you were just saying with No Man's Sky, you don't know what the fuck what you're doing, or what you're getting into.
Yeah, I don't know if
For
it's
this, Dreams was like that for me.
yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is this? It looks cool, like it's kind of its style, and but I'm not too sure if it's a game,
Or
it seems more.
it looks like a builder type.
Yeah, it looks like a builder, but you like almost making either your own game, your own film, or everything's this kind of painted style, and
almost
they
like
showed-
here's a canvas. And, and have fun, but I don't know.
and that idea seems cool and very creative for a creative person. It seems interesting. I want to know more.
Yeah, totally. Because it looked beautiful.
Like
it
if you
looked
could-
interesting. It looked new, and it's a new IP again. So nice, good one, Sony. But it just sits sort of in that nebulous area of I want to know more.
Yeah,
And until I know more, I can't really.
I'm not
comment.
really. Have
What
an
can you
interest
say?
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they had different things. They had a they were showing like a bit of like a character's face, and you could stretch it and mold it the way you kind of looked, and then you use the controller to kind of paint some stuff.
Yeah,
and then
that was interesting.
Also, use the controller as like puppetry kind of thing, and it's.
Hang on, how does that work? That must work with the
With
PlayStation camera.
The 6 axis.
Oh, the 6 axis. That's what's
six
going on,
axis. Maybe with the camera as well. That makes sense. But they also had
forget.
they also had the like it changed all of a sudden went to sci-fi, and there was something on a
Yeah, there
guy on a like a hovercraft.
Yeah, it looked like something out of
bike or
Star
something.
Wars.
Yeah. So that could switched it up, and those seemed like very professional kind of style, like max realization of the game.
Yeah.
I
would worry that
would
most
the average person be able to do that? That's kind of like.
I doubt it.
I guess if you spend hundreds and hundreds of hours, you could
And if
maybe
that's
get something like that.
and if that's what you want to do, but to me that's not really a game anymore. That's
I don't know. Game for the creative person or the artiste.
I guess
maybe.
it's like making a movie instead of watching a movie, though. That's what it feels like. I don't know if it's for me, but again,
We'll see. I guess we'll see.
need to see more.
Hey, I don't know if we came up with this one in the in one of our previous podcasts, but Firewatch. Did we talk about that?
We've never spoken of Firewatch.
Firewatch. Yep, Firewatch.
Let's speak about Firewatch.
Firewatch.
It looks really good, actually. I'm quite excited about this. I've seen some gameplay on this. I love the art style. It's kind of
A bit cartoony.
it's like I want to say cell shaded, but I don't think it is. Like it's kind of like it's not Borderlands-y.
It looked like the Orange Box.
That's what it looks like, actually. Yeah, nail on the head. It's that sort of style. That's what it kind of feels like. And it looks like a really interesting world. I like the idea of being this lone sort of fire watchman, I guess.
He looks like a lumberjack or something like that.
Yeah. I think he's one of those dudes who like patrols around, making sure that people are, in New Zealand we've got the little arrow thing. You got to keep it green. I think he's that dude. He's making sure people aren't putting campfires on beaches and stuff.
What are those wardens called in Canada? What are those guys?
Mounties?
Mounties?
Yeah, like a Mountie, I guess.
Mountie?
I mean, we just say that. We don't really know what Mounties do.
I don't know. But yeah, it was so it just had you were on the radio to some lady in some tower, and
which is really intriguing. It feels like all the story's going to come through there, obviously, with your relationship and your connection.
There's a bit of comedy in it as well.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that start when he's like in that little tunnel
in the cave. Yeah, he's like, "You in the cave." Yeah,
and he's like, "Oh, And she's like, step forward or something. He's like, oh, what's down here? She's like, just be careful. Whoa! She's like, hey, no. And he's like, I'm just kidding. I'm still here.
Damn it. Yeah. No, it seems really cool. I like how they've got a bit of the comedy in it, but it also seems very mysterious as well.
Totally. Which is what interests me.
And you
the
seem like
most.
you're by yourself, and they talk about how are you dealing with the isolation, and that usually gets to people first, and you had to attach a cable, and the cable's like, it looks like the cable's been cut. She's like, wait, are you already there? Then who's in your tower? Dun, dun, dun. So I don't know. That game seems pretty cool. I'm not too entirely sure what it's about.
No,
whether it's survival or
no, we need to see more of it.
Or
I'm very interested to see what the mystery is. It seems like the sort of game where it turns out that the person you've been talking to the whole time on the radio is actually the main bad guy, or there is no person on the radio. It's all in your mind.
It's all in your mind.
You're the bad guy. It seems like that sort of game where there's going to be whatever it's leading you to is a twist that it's of what you expected. So
it seems like
I love that.
It seems like an exciting ride. I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Timed exclusive, correct?
Is it? I don't know. I haven't written it down.
Well,
but I thought it got shown at another conference.
I don't know. It didn't get shown at Microsoft at the very least.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I think
these guys probably already know.
Yeah, I think it's first on PlayStation. That was my guess.
Next up, I got the next Destiny stuff. The
new,
Taken King, the DLC.
Yeah, the new expansion, which looks good. They're bringing in a whole bunch of new features, aren't they? There's new power.
There's extra classes. So for each character, they have another subclass. They also have
which is good. About time.
That's the only really thing that I picked up from it. I'm not playing Destiny too much anymore.
Well, because my character's in my mind, he's kind of already maxed. Even though there's still a couple of extra levels to go, but I've attained everything within that class. So to bring me a new subclass, something to work towards and get some more abilities and stuff in, that gives me another reason to jump back in.
I guess so. It's Destiny. There's heaps more other games that could be playing.
Yeah.
Bring on Destiny 2. I feel like
that's the zone I'm in.
There's still more DLC to come.
You were saying,
So I don't know. But for Destiny players, how many did they say?
20 million.
20 million.
Either playing or have played.
Yeah. So there's definitely a market out for there. So for those Destiny guys out there, I guess for something fresh and new who have been waiting for it.
And this isn't part of the season pass, is it? So I'll have to buy this.
Shame. Oh no, same.
But yeah, because it was House of Wolves and that other one.
Yeah.
Okay. So I probably won't play this then, because if I have to buy it, honestly, I've got too many other games to play. But yeah, good. I mean, Destiny had to show itself somewhere, and I guess it was, they've decided their home is PlayStation. That's where they're at.
Yeah.
Sad to see Bungie go to the dark side, but
Dark side. Jealous.
All right.
Jealous.